The first person that Kyle Rittenhouse shot was a gentleman by the name of Joseph Rosenbaum, who is a registered or was a registered sex offender before Kyle shot him. He's also, I believe, uh, he had just been released from the mental hospital. And if you see videos of him, you could see that he has extremely violent tendencies. The other people, I believe the second person also has a criminal record. And I think the third one also, the guy who didn't get killed but got his bicep shot off, also has a criminal record. But it kind of reminds me of the people that are basically blasting Kyle Rittenhouse. They're basically saying that a sexual predator, someone who has committed the worst acts of sexual violence against minor children, and they really kind of ignore that fact. And it kind of reminds me of, and I forget what part of Europe, I think it was either Germany or it was England, but she was sexually assaulted by migrants, and she didn't want to report it or had fears of reporting it because she was in favor of the migrants and it might hurt her case, might hurt the case of the migrants. And I think of that, and I think this is how brainwashed some of these people are. And I want to give a shout out to Darren. But some of them are so brainwashed, they will receive the most vicious attacks, but because of their ideology, they will refuse to report it because they think that the greater good is, they'll sacrifice themselves. They'd probably even sacrifice perhaps even their children for what they believe is the greater good for social justice. And someone like that who has no concern, someone who gets assaulted by migrants and wants to defend that, wants to keep that a secret because because she's in favor of the migrants and she's a migrant activist. Someone like that is not going to have any empathy for those who oppose her. I remember reading a little bit of Colin Flaherty's book, White Girl Bleed a Lot. And there was a lot of denial about the motive of these attackers. And of course, there's never a motive, always the worst motives on these Karens. But when it's the other way around, they were just robbing. They had no vicious motives, Isn't it funny? And there are plenty of other subjects that you cannot talk about because the leftist establishment doesn't want that debate to happen. I mean, you'd think if they were correct and right, they would be in favor of absolute open debate and open discussion and all kinds of due process and finding things out, but they're not in favor of that, And in my opinion, I think that they are kind of exposed, as many of them are very sick, and sick and vicious people, and they will defend their ideology to the hilt. Um, and again, someone who doesn't care about their own um, well-being and safety, and doesn't care about themselves being violated, they're not going to care about you being violated. And if you speak out against about you being violated, they will be attacked. They will attack you. And if you speak out about others being violated, they will attack you. Look at what happened to Tommy Robinson. I remember watching a documentary about Tommy Robinson, and they had a woman that was victim to these Muslim grooming gangs, and she said, "Yeah, I was groomed, but we don't need to go the way Tommy goes because he's doing it in the quote wrong manner." And you have to cross your I's and dot your T's, and somewhere along the line you're going to slip up, and that's going to destroy your whole cause. Because of course they make it impossible for you to state your case. They'll absolutely strive to defame you, and they'll put up standards on you that they would never put on other groups. And if you don't see that going on, then I don't think you're really paying attention. These aren't noble people. And if you think they are, that's fine. I do want to separate from you if you think that these leftists are noble, good people. They are ideologically driven. And so who's getting abused and defamed today? Well, okay. Kyle Rittenhouse is being abused and defamed. You don't think that he's being abused and defamed? He's being made fun of crying. And this is the establishment. And these are the entertainers that I guess we spend our money on and our dollars on. Some of these pro athletes that we spend our dollar on, and they defame someone who killed a rapist. And someone said, "Could you be a man? Don't be the tall poppy." I don't understand what Howard means by that. I'm not really sure. Don't be the tall poppy, what that exactly means. But we are defending. The left does champion degenerates, and they basically defame police officers. They defame whites, and of course, there's with cancel culture, there is no due process, and it's only they that decide the punishment and what punishment should be dished out. I mentioned this again. Jake Gardner was driven to suicide by the woke left, by the leftist establishment, and hopefully, I would love to see remembrances of him and what was done to him by the left, because I think that is important. Anyway, I'm going to end the show. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and always challenge. Be ready to challenge and fight the good fight. And if you believe you're right, then debate. If you're not willing to debate your issue, then shut up. Thank you for listening. And I'll give a shout out to Darren, Howard, and Donning Armor. Both are, all of them are basically kind of agree with me to the most part. Anyway, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening.